Last year, and you're reviewing last year, it seemed like one of the areas where you really improved was reducing penalties from the previous year. How did you achieve that? What were some of the things you had to do to make that happen through the course of the season?
Hey, Mike. Good question. I mean, we really, in studying the previous year before we got here, I know that penalties have been a problem, and I know with one thing with Coach LaFleur is, our mantra is penalty-free aggression. So, we try to teach the guys the rules and show them the rules videos we get from the league, and then really emphasize technique and just making good decisions and not putting the team in a bad situation. So, through video, through practice, through, emphasizing the technique and then just the rules and the situations of, just having guys understand where they're at and those type of things, I think we made great strides in that. So, it was a combination of a lot of things, but, just like I said, really tried to, teach the guys the rules and those situations and emphasize the technique.
Rob Domofsky, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn, how you doing?
Good, Rob. How are you?
Good, thanks. Just with the spark that Tyler Ervin gave you guys when he came in, how important was it to get him back in the fold this year and in order to build on, sort of what you guys did with him last season?
I was really excited to get him back. I know that, when we talked about, did the postseason evaluations, he did provide a great spark. I mean, he's great for our room. He's a great veteran. He's got the, veteran presence to him and stuff, and has played in big games and played in playoff games. And he did provide that spark for us. So I was excited to get him back and, hopefully continue to build on what we started last year, just like you mentioned. I mean, he was a great addition to us, not only on special teams, but he helped provide a spark for us on offense. And I know they were creating some roles for him. So I thought that was big and really excited to get him back.
Matt Schneidman, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn, hope all is well. I'm curious what you think of this new proposed onside kick rule change with the whole 4th and 15 thing from a special teams coordinator's mind.
I need to study it more. I mean, I've read through it, and obviously, whatever they decide, we'll adapt and you'll be flexible with, and talk to Connor and Matt and the game management staff and stuff, and we'll make sure we're up on everything. I mean, my initial reaction probably would be, as a special teams person, is to, anytime you take away from special teams, you never want that to happen and stuff. But again, we have to adapt. Whatever the league decides, we'll be ready to go. So I know there'll be some tweaks to everything, and there'll have to be some things worked out depending on how it all unfolds. But we'll be ready to go when whatever happens.
Wes Hodkwitz, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn, how you doing?
Good, Wes. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hope you and the family are doing all right. I know traditionally you have one of the biggest position rooms. Just with this virtual offseason, what's that been like, just trying to bring everybody together, especially the rookies and first-year players getting into this thing?
I mean, it's been good. We've tried to adapt and be the best teachers we can be and be flexible. And I think that what we've done is, we make some, videos that we send out to the players, and then we have some small, we have some short Zoom meetings and things a couple days a week. And I think that's allowed us to, we tried to split the groups up among the 3 of our special teams coaches to keep the groups a little bit smaller. And then we rotate those groups. We're seeing different guys, throughout the weeks and stuff. And I think it's been positive. The players have had a good response. They're good pros. They adapt to anything that we set forth in front of them and stuff. So it's been good. I mean, love to see them in person and work with them and be able to get those live reps and those kind of things, and the phase 2, the things we've missed out on. But, the other 31 teams are going through the same thing. So I think it's all how we adapt and try to make the best of a challenging situation. But our players have been really good. I know our coaches have been really good about getting the things ready and doing the best we can with the cards that are dealt to us.
Mike Spofford, go ahead.
With I know you mentioned Ervin already, and aside from another obvious choice like Crosby, I'm wondering which veteran players you're projecting as maybe being some of those leaders on your 4 core. I know you haven't done anything on the field yet, but just in terms of how you're looking at some of your veteran guys right now.
I know that obviously Mason is the leader of the room and a leader on our team, and Tyler's done a good job for us. there were several guys who've stepped up and shown leadership qualities. I know Will Redmond had a great season for us and has really stepped up and become more of a vocal leader. And, that Alan Lazard, several of the guys, I'd hate to just pick out one and leave a bunch of guys out, but there's several that, start showing the leadership qualities, not only from a lead by example, which all those guys do, but there were several stepped up and became vocal leaders and challenged each other. And that's what you want in the room, is guys stepping up and challenging each other and trying to make each other better. So there were several guys stepped up. I don't want to just pick out one or two and leave somebody out, but there were several guys that have stepped up that I've been really pleased about. And throughout this offseason in the meetings, you can tell the guys are stepping up and challenging each other. So it's been really good.
Jim Ozarski, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn. So when you came in, Mason, and you had a kicking competition to a degree, season ends, and there's an extension where Mason can kick probably now till 37 or so. What did you see throughout the year, maybe right as the end of year evaluation, where you're like, this guy can perform at a high level for years to come now? That you had that kind of whole year to kind of watch him kind of work and produce.
I think just Mason's approach. I mean, he's a true pro. I mean, he's does a great job in everything that he does, from, taking care of his body to his routine throughout the week, his mental approach. He's been in all the situations as far as nothing really shakes him, extremely mentally strong. So, and I know physically he's got his routine, so he knows how to go out throughout the season and take care of himself. So he's just as strong at the end of the season as he is at the beginning. And again, I've worked with veteran kickers in the past, and, a guy like Phil Dawson had kicked late in his 30s and early into his 40s and stuff. So I know that those guys can do that. And I know that Mason will be able to continue to perform at an extremely high level, and look forward to working with him here, throughout his contract and throughout the future here.
Bill Huber, go ahead.
I'm curious what you thought of Hunter Bradley's season. I'm no long snapping expert. He didn't obviously have any really bad snaps, but he didn't seem like he was always on the money either for you. I guess just what'd you think of his year, and do you need better there, or is he on course for what you want?
I think he's on course. I mean, there was a couple snaps during the season, at different points, towards the middle, and then he had a stretch at the end of the season where there was a couple snaps, his short snaps that had some wobble to him and those kind of things. But we've talked about that, and I think he's having a good off season. From talking to him, and he knows the things that he needs to work on. And he's a good pro. He's learning how to do it, learning how to be that pro going into his third year here. And I think he took a lot of steps from his rookie year to last year in improving, and I expect him to take some more big steps, going into his third year. He knows what he needs to do, and he's working on those things. And I think just a consistency standpoint, just throughout the season, stuff on his short snaps on a few things, and we've talked about those, and he'll get those fixed, and then just a few accuracy things. But he took major steps last year, and he continued to improve, and I know he's going to take those steps again, and look forward to what he's going to do this year for us.
Thanks, Shawn.
Aaron Nagler, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn, thanks for the time. I was wondering, you look at JK's year, he had some really big kicks for you early on in the season, and he still made a few down the stretch, but he also had a bunch of shanks. And I was wondering if you found anything you could pinpoint technique-wise where you can get a little bit more consistency out of him.
I think just the major thing would be what we call his handle times, where it's from the time he catches the ball till the time the ball hits his foot, of just staying in consistent range. And sometimes those have from his stride length to just how fast he's trying to go, and just shortening up his steps. I think just continue to practice that, and he's extremely regimented and has a routine, and we just need to make sure we follow that and just keep doing that throughout the season. So that would probably be the biggest thing, would be just his handle times, his get off times and things. I think that can lead to a lot of different things for any punter, not just JK. I mean, for any veteran punter, that's the first thing I think you go back to, is you look at their handle times, and is there some variance, which means they're either rushing it, and that can create stride length changes and those kind of things and stuff. So we're just trying to hone in on those things. And And JK, again, is a great pro. He knows what he needs to work on, and I expect, again, he's got all the potential in the world, and there's no one wants to do a better job than he does, on game days and stuff. So, again, he'll continue to learn and grow. Is every experience, positive and negative, can help you grow as a professional and stuff. And he's taken all those things in, and and I expect he'll continue to get much better.
Thanks, Coach.
Brian Wood, go ahead.
Hey, Shawn, hope you're well. You mentioned Tyler already, but I'm curious, from the offensive end, it's pretty obvious to see the benefit that a full offseason can give him coming in as late as he did last year. But special teams-wise, I mean, what's the benefit that he can gain and you can gain with him having a full offseason as a return guy?
I think just for him as a returner, I mean, it's using his vision and things, but I think just learning where we're trying to hit returns at and how the blocks are going to be set up and just, how his blockers in front of him, learning what's happening and learning how we prepare for opponents and what they're going to try to do to us and how we'll have to react to that as return unit will help him. And just being around the guys and just continuing to have that camaraderie and learning their strengths and weaknesses, I think will help him. And, like I said, we can tell him which way to start the return, but he's got great instincts and great vision. And from there, it's just setting up his blocks and learning where those setups are going to be.
Ross Uglum, go ahead.
Hello, Shawn. Thanks for the time. Just wondering if you had a chance to go over this rookie class at all, and who, from whether it's a play style standpoint or a body type standpoint, are you really excited to get in with your group? And also, do you feel like this shortened time that you have with these guys might lead to maybe a few more vets on specials?
I think, I've watched these guys on special teams and watched them play offense and defense. And I know that Goody and his staff do a great job as far as, evaluating. And, I don't want to pick out one guy, but I think that there's several guys can help us. They all as a group are conscientious, and we've met with them. We have some extra rookie meetings with them, and they've all done a great job of being able to recycle the information we ask them, and when we test them, they do a great job and get the answers right. So from a mental standpoint, they're a sharp group, and I think from a physical standpoint, there's a lot of length and athleticism there. We won't know until we get them out on the field, so we'll have to maximize our time with them when we get into training camp and early in the season and try to get the technique part of it down. The things we're missing right now, that hands-on approach. But I think that we're going to train everybody. I mean, we train – there's not one player except for our quarterbacks throughout the season that don't come to at least one or more special teams meetings a week. I mean, even Devontae, comes to a hands meeting on Saturday and stuff. So, Christian Kirksey played for us in Cleveland was a four-phase player. I know that's not going to be his role going forward, but he's still going to come to meetings and train with us and those things so that, at any point during the game, we need to, use a vet or a starter that's, normally doesn't play on special teams. He's going to at least train. So again, we're training everybody from at least from a mental standpoint, and then get them, some pre-practice reps, some post-practice reps. We're getting them reps during practice to where we're comfortable. If we've got to slide a guy in there, then they've at least been trained to do that. So again, I'm comfortable with our guys. There's been, again, everybody's on board and ready to go and excited about it.
Steve McGargy, go ahead.
I was just wondering, going back to the onside kick thing, how do you feel about the way that's gone league-wide since the change in kind of format? And do you get the sense that the success rate league-wide will ever improve in the near future as we get more time with it, or is it just going to be a lot more difficult now?
I just think I think the difficulty is when based on how you have to line the guys, being five on each side, you have to have so many guys outside the numbers, so many guys between the numbers and the hash inbounds line right there. It makes it a little bit harder because you can't, do a six-man overload like you did before. I mean, it's made the play safer, but it has made it harder. So, for us, we just have to try with the kickers and, trying different types of, kicks and those kind of things. I can't predict the future to know if that's going to lead to a greater success rate or not. I just know with the rules, it has made it harder, but again, it's what it is. So we've got to try to find a creative way to get a kick in there that maybe we can hit it into a certain area and bring a fold a guy in and those type of things. It's our job to try to come up with the kicks and find a scheme that allows us to get that.
Dave Schrader, go ahead.
Hi, Shawn.
Hey, Dave.
I was wondering, with a lot of the special teams changes and rules, it seems like you guys have been at the forefront of increased safety and some changes. I mean, not just for safety, but also in terms of making plays more exciting, the extra point changes, the kickoff changes, now the thoughts on onside kick. How much change do you think they can continue to do in the name of safety before it takes away from the fabric of the game? And are you all for change or reluctant to change certain things? What's your philosophy? I know you've had a lot of changes.
I think, we're going to adapt. I mean, to whatever makes the game the safest. And hopefully, I think we've tried I know as a special teams group, we get together and, down in Indy at the combine, we get together and we talk through these things. And, we have the different group conference calls and those kind of things. And there's been some proposals just like a few years ago with the kickoff and changing and some of the changes we made. I think we were kind of at the forefront with the competition committee. There's a group of special teams guys within our group that meet with the competition committee each year and kind of help adapt these things. And they get with all 32 of us and, we vote on these things and stuff. And so I think we've been proactive in trying to make the game safer, but yet still try to make it exciting. And I know as a group, we're going to continue to do that. Again, our jobs, we never want the kickoff or a play to get taken away or get altered so much that, it affects the game or it ultimately affects our job. So we're going to try to make this, as exciting as possible, but yet still as safe as we can for the players.
Matt Schneidman, go ahead.
Shawn, I know this isn't that big of a deal, but normally JK and Hunter would be practicing in their shared backyard right now on their exchange, I guess. Are they still together in Green Bay, or are they in their separate parts of the country that you know of?
They're in their separate parts. JK's been, different places. Hunter's back at his home in Florida and stuff. So they're not together right now. But, when things lift, I know they've been talking as a group of getting back together when things lift here and stuff, and of trying to get back together and do what they can to get their timing back and stuff. But they're not together right now.